Hello everyone, Michael here. I hope you all have had a great weekend, got to spend some time with your family and are staying healthy, maybe staying active so you're not too stir crazy. I've definitely had an eventful weekend myself and just nothing but joy, nothing but good times here and it was much needed, just a relaxing weekend. So today I want to jump into the topic of control. As I've gone through these videos again, I'm trying to take things of lessons learned, where I've been, wisdom I've gained, experiences I've been through, just to kind of help anybody who may be in need out there, right? Anyone who may can take something from my perception, from the things that I see, the way that I view things, just my take on life. I mean, I'm hopeful that it can be positive, it can be encouraging, it can be helpful in some way. So I want to specifically talk about control. When I first became a parent, right, that was something that I'd never experienced before. I wasn't really around small kids and I had no idea what to expect. And I tell you what, when my child started getting, my boy started getting big enough to be able to crawl around and walk around and do different things, man, I was a helicopter parent. I'm not proud of it, but I was a helicopter parent, and I would stick right there with him and make sure he would never get hurt, and always try to, protect him from the other kids, and really just try to be there for him and protect him in that sense. And I felt like, I was doing my thing as a parent. I was being responsible for taking care of him and ensuring that he doesn't, fall and get hurt or something. But little did I realize, right, that I wasn't giving him any help, to be honest, and it wasn't helping me any. What it all boiled down to was my high level anxiety. And in that sense, I felt like if I could help him and I could, in a way, control the situation to keep him from getting hurt, that it made me feel better, it would keep him from getting hurt and feeling bad. It would just, to me, it felt like the whole situation was more improved, at least in my own mind, right? And I was young, I was naive, I was immature in a lot of ways, and it's taken this entire journey for me to realize a lot of things, and I'm grateful because of the journey. I wouldn't be who I am without it. So when I'm really stopping and thinking about control and the other aspects of life, because I never realized that I had the high level anxiety, because I didn't realize those things growing up, I can stop and I can look past at things and look at things that I did, in dating relationships when I was younger, when I was in school, things in college, things in high school, just various situations that I can tell anxiety got the best of me. And what I did was I tried to control the situations. I tried to spend more time with people I felt like were pulling away. And I tried to, do my best financially, which I don't believe that's a bad thing, but I did my best financially to pinch pennies to make sure that money could last through the month and that there was always at least some sort of an emergency fund, trying to be intelligent and wise about the things I have to be a good steward over the money and a good steward over the things that I have. And while I never felt that was wrong, I may have pinched pennies a little too tight at times, and it could have been okay to spend more here and there. And I definitely was a penny pincher all my life, and I probably still am at this point. And to me, I know that that caused some frictions in relationships that I had, and it caused some frictions at home, and just different struggles that I went through with that. And lessons learned. Again, that's what this is all about. But for me, I feel like my whole life, looking backwards, that I really tried to control so many things in order to feel more comfortable. With a high level anxiety, I mean, I was always anxious about things and I was always struggling with it. And the bleak, pessimistic outlook did not help anything. And so a lot of times I would really push and try to get around a situation. I don't believe getting in front of things is necessarily wrong. I don't believe that planning things or having a schedule is necessarily wrong. But I do believe that in a sense that we are trying our best to control everything and not let God take care of things on our behalf and hand things over to Him, then we are wasting a lot of time and energy and we are controlling situations we shouldn't be. I mean, first and foremost, there's a lot of passages I turn to in the Bible, but specifically, there's some really good ones about how prayer is so important, and the prayer of the righteous will avail much, and how prayer, when we're casting those anxieties and those burdens down on His feet, that He can grant us the peace that surpasses all understanding. And that's a beautiful thought, but it's not just a thought; it's a beautiful thing to see and to feel when you know it. I mean, when you cast things at His feet and you're in the middle of a storm and you're in the middle of so much going on. You don't have a job, there's a virus outbreak, there's things going on in home life, there's things going on with family life, and there's so much happening, but there's a sense of calm. I don't know that you can necessarily see it in me, and I won't ever expose everything that's going on in my world because I don't believe anyone has to know every detail of it. But I sure can tell you that there's a lot happening, but God is so good and has granted me so much peace through everything that I'm enduring right now that I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the perception change. I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and continue to keep that perception to be positive and keep that perception to be good. And one of the other pieces that I know I really wanted to talk through when it came to control is you see a lot of people who will talk about how they went through all these struggles they're trying to get to the top. Let's say they're trying to get to the top of a company. They want to become the owner, the CEO, the CIO, whatever it may be, and they're climbing this path to try to get where they're going. And that's their goal. And every time they get knocked down, they just see it as a setback and continue pursuing that goal. Continue pursuing whatever they're working towards, right? That goal. And I believe we really have to be careful with that. So we can make plans all day long, but it is God who directs our steps. It is God who directs our paths. Can we take 6 different paths of our own free will and wind up exactly where God needs us to be? I believe so. I believe in providence. I believe that God will put things in our lives and that God will move us to different places and will put different people in our lives to help us and that we can help and will put us in different places where we can be the most benefit and help us to have lessons learned where we can get stronger. And I think that that's very important. But one of the biggest things is I always see people who just pat themselves on the back in a sense, and I don't mean it rude. I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way. But they just keep climbing and keep climbing regardless of what's happening. And to me, I see that as God saying, "Wait. Look at what's around you. Stop and take a breath. Look at the world right now." I believe this is a time where God is saying, "Be still and know that I am God." It's a time for us to stop, take a breath, take a breather, relax, stop and smell the roses, hug your kids, hug your spouse, your wife, your husband. Spend time together in that home and do the things that you can to build up those relationships, especially the relationship we have to our God by reading the Bible, by seeking wise counsel when we need it, and by absolutely keeping a strong prayer life with Him. Yes, He knows our thoughts. Yes, He knows what we're thinking. He knows what we're going through. But He desires that we bring it to Him in prayer and that we leave it at His feet and let Him take care of things. It's so much better. Instead of thinking all the weight that I carry on my shoulders, to know that all the weight I carry is at God's feet. And that helps me have an open mind. It helps me continue to be able to have a capacity to help other people. And it's something I'm very, very grateful for. About when we really identify control in our own lives, we have to be able to let go and give the reins to God. He desires good for us. He desires good things. And if we truly are living to Him, it doesn't mean that everything is going to happen perfectly, that we're not going to go through struggles. In the book of James, we see the struggles as things that help us grow. We see that those things help us have patience. Those things help us to be able to endure. But we have to find the joy in those times. We have to seek out the blessings, which I believe is part of the intentional living that so many authors in the Bible talk about, with Paul and James and others. And it's a title of a book I'm actually working on with the idea of intentional living and how it's sowed throughout the New Testament very strongly. And it's something that I'm working towards. It's a goal I have to eventually write that one and publish it. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. This has been something to ponder, something to think about. If I didn't explain something well enough, you can always reach out to me if you have questions or if you just need someone to talk to. I'm always here. Hope that you have a blessed day. Thank you.